Have you ever wondered how some people make eating healthy, exercise, and managing stress look so easy? You can too. Welcome to Wellness Wisdom, where we uncover the secrets to lasting health and happiness and empower you to make wise health choices, see results, and create a healthy lifestyle for good. Join Camille Kennard, licensed social worker, certified health and wellness coach, a self-care specialist on the journey to explore how to make health and well-being possible for you. It's a health and wellness journey you can take together. Please welcome your host, Camille Kennard.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Wellness Wisdom today. It's February. It's already the second month of 2020. And I know a lot of times this month we really think about love, different types of love, romantic love, love for our family. I want you to think about this month, love for yourself. How do you show yourself that you love yourself? What do you do that gives yourself that support and love that you need? And we're going to talk today a little bit more about a way that you can use to really give yourself the love that you need by taking better care of your health, your well-being, and just being able to feel mentally and physically better. So I'm really excited for this episode of the podcast. You're going to love it. I'm really happy to have my friend and person who's my fellow networking buddy, Aida Woodward, with me today. Aida, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. We've been trying to get this together for a while because we both have those, same drive and excitement about wellness and well-being and helping people really take good care of themselves. So I'll tell you a little bit about Aida. She has been a DoTerra Wellness Advocate for about 3 years, and she had her own personal health struggles, which we'll talk a little bit about, that helped her to find that good health can be maintained and found through using some natural things like the essential oils and that. And her love of teaching others about oils has also inspired her to teach about healthy lifestyle habits, which is what we'll talk about today too, and how you can live your best life by making simple changes each day, including the use of essential oils. So that's just a little bit about Aida, and I know there's a whole lot more about her that she can share with us too, but I think it's, Aida, as you and I were talking about this, sometimes people, I know in January, everyone sets those New Year's resolutions of, I'm going to eat healthier, I'm going to exercise more, I'm going to take better care of my health. And I think for you and I, as we've had our own health journeys, we've kind of realized that taking care of ourselves, there's a lot of different things we can do, right? To improve our well-being, to feel mentally and physically better. I would love for you to share with us what it was that, was going on in your life that got you just interested in trying to improve your health and what was going on for you.
Okay. Well, I've always been a relatively healthy person. I haven't had a lot of specific health issues personally. So I came down a few years ago with a really bad cold, what I thought was a really bad cold. And I just never got over it. And I ended up going to my doctor and getting prescriptions for various things that we weren't really sure what was going on. And over a period of time, I ended up with 5 different prescriptions. And
oh, wow.
I never got better, and ended up changing doctors and found one that I felt could serve me better naturally, and found one that actually recommended essential oils to be incorporated into my life. And I didn't know anything about essential oils, and I knew no one that sold them or used them. So it was a little bit of an investigatory experience for me personally to find someone that I could learn more about oils. But what happened was this gal came into where I was working. I worked part-time for Weight Watchers at the time, and I'm really proud to say that I lost 50 pounds through that program, and hasn't been easy, but anyway, long story short.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I found a gal that was wearing essential oils, and I could tell it was this beautiful aroma, and I asked her about it, and she invited me to a class, and I went to this total stranger's house. I didn't know anybody there, and I was not feeling well at all. I had a stomach ache, and I always struggled with stomach problems. Just don't know what it was. No matter what I ate, I would have a stomach ache. So as soon as I got there, they gave me something called Digestin. As a matter of fact, I have some with me right here, and I love Digestin. And I within maybe 10 to 15 minutes, they asked me, how's your stomach? And as soon as I realized that it had been so effective, I was sold. It was the best experience because I had never had anything relieve my stomach aches that quickly and so easily. So after that, I used the products for a while. I had been struggling with mono. I found out I had the Epstein-Barr virus. So I had started using their products and their what we call lifelong vitality supplements. I was already supplementing with a really good quality, or what I thought was a good quality vitamin supplement. And I started using those. And after a while, I realized one day when I was making my bed that I didn't have to nap. I wasn't napping anymore. My energy levels had really improved and picked up, and my vitality was better. My moods were better. I was sleeping better. And so that was my personal experience with our supplements. And my husband has a similar story. He's a Marine. He worked on the highway patrol. He has always been a really hard worker. He's always worked a lot of part-time jobs, and he's suffers from arthritis. So he would take all these random vitamins, and one day I finally said, take these vitamins, and he did. And within a week and a half, I could totally tell a big difference in the way he was moving, less grumping, less aches and pains. And so it made a huge difference for him as well. So we call those the foundation for health, is our supplements. So if you're over a certain age, we always recommend that you get started on those because they are very powerful. They're a whole food supplement.
I love that. So you were experiencing this cold that just wouldn't go away. And I know this year we've had a lot of colds going around here in Utah. And sometimes our body, takes a hold of something and then it just attacks the body and your health starts going down and you don't really know why. And it sounds like what you were able to do is add something natural into, your routine through these essential oils that really made a difference for both your energy and just your immune system and all of that. Because our immune system can go down so easily. And so that keeping up that immunity, I think, is really important. So I love that you shared, okay, I had these health conditions and just adding a little something was helpful to me. So when you talk about like the foundation of health, I know I've, used essential oils. I've told my clients about them. What I see it as is it's actually using things that God gave us on the earth, right?
Yeah,
these natural substances, right, that are in the earth, in plants and trees and all of that kind of thing that can help us, promote our health. Tell me a little bit more about, you said it's like what you're using is more of a whole food supplement. So tell me a little bit about that.
Okay. All right. Well, the Lifelong Vitality Pack is a whole food supplement. They have all different kinds of products in them, including like green tea and dandelion root and all the different things and herbs that we know are good for us, but we don't know how to get them, or we don't know how much to take of them. So what doTerra has done is gone in and created a system of herbs, essential oils, vitamins, and also fish oil into this perfectly balanced program. They're dietary supplements. There's 3 separate ones, and one of them is for great bone health. They're great for your cardiovascular, great for your brain health, which I found to be true, great for your hair, skin, and nails, etc. So they're a whole food supplement. They also include a little bit of essential oils in them, something called a tummy tamer, because sometimes people can't take vitamins very well. So they included something so that people can actually take these without having issues in their tum-tum.
Yeah.
So, yes, they're all very highly absorbable. We have a huge absorbability rate here.
That's so interesting. And I love that you said So now when you get sick, you know that if you put these essential oils or different vitamins in your body, that it will boost that immune system because it's giving your body what it needs to be well, right? To take really good care of yourself. Is there anything else about your story? Why did you decide this was a place that you wanted to go as far as promoting essential oils, promoting health? What led you in that direction?
Well, I've always enjoyed reaching and teaching people in the name of health. I was raised by a mom who was the Jack LaLanne mom. I'm not sure how many of your listeners know who Jack LaLanne is, but if they Google it, they'll know. He was the guru back in the 50s, and housewives would be cleaning their house and doing exercises with Jack LaLanne. So he would show them how to be healthy and just how to move their bodies so that they could have healthy lives. So my mom was one of those. She was also one of those moms that would say, you need to eat this. It's good for your eyes. It has vitamin C or whatever. Mm-hmm. So those things were ingrained in me at a very young age. And I think as moms, that's a super exciting thing to be able to do for your kids, is to teach them very early the good benefits of eating a healthy diet and moving their bodies. My kids were raised with a crazy video watching exercising lady, and a lot of their friends didn't know what that was. So it's, I'm hoping that I instilled in them the benefits of taking care of yourself.
So even when you were young, your mom kind of that was important to her, is that taking care of your health, putting good things in your body, moving your body, some of those, we call them wellness, habits or things that we do. Exactly. So you always kind of had this desire to reach others and help them improve their lives. It really is exciting to see someone have either aha about, I could change the way I think, or I could change what I'm putting in my body, and then I feel better, and then I feel happier, and it just changes that whole trajectory of their life and how they see their life, right? And what's important to them. I think that's really, really great. And it sounds like you've been able to share it with your family members as well, and it's really benefited them too. Anything else that you feel like is important about your journey that really helped you to want to help others?
I can't think of anything specifically other than there's so many people out there hurting. Most of my friends are my age. I am 64. So I have a lot of friends, baby boomers, that haven't always taken care of themselves, and it's not too late to reverse. And for those that are in their younger years, they're not thinking about what they're going to be feeling like in 20 and 30 years. So I just want to encourage anyone that's young to start thinking now about those things that they can do to help prolong their lives. And instead of being in a wheelchair or not being able to make it up a set of stairs, I have a multi-level home, so I'm used to running up and down stairs. Mm-hmm. And it's so sad to see my friends come and not be able to make it up a stair without just going like a 90-year-old. Mm-hmm. So very hard to see. I don't want to be left alone without friends. That's probably why I have a lot of young friends, because my friends my age are not always as active in maintaining good health.
And I know you guys on the podcast, you can't see Aida, but she's in her workout outfit. And if you were to see her, I know age is, in my opinion, age is metabolic, right? It's how we take care of ourselves. But Aida has a great, fit, healthy body. She takes really good care of herself. And I think that, sometimes in our society, we think that if you age, that means you can't do as much. And I have seen, I worked for many years doing home care and hospice, and I've seen 60-year-olds who can function like a 90-year-old or vice versa, right? Those who are younger and they are older and they seem younger because of how their body functions, right? So I want everybody out there to kind of like question that it's not about aging as much as it is, in my opinion, from what I've seen and working in what I call the sick care, healthcare system that we have for many years, is that it's really like your health, you can improve it at any stage of your life by the way you take care of it, right? What you put in your body, how you move your body, how you handle stress. And Aida, I think you're a great example of that as a 64-year-old woman who's like bouncing up and down the stairs and and able to, physically do a lot of things and mentally because you're putting your health as a priority, which I think is a huge, huge thing. So.
Absolutely. Another thing that I was thinking of is that when I watch these TV commercials for these medications that are advertised, that's what is another reason why I tend to go towards the more natural. We are in a society where everybody's grabbing whatever the doctor prescribes without questioning. And I think that's a big mistake. And the side effects are ridiculous. And I heard one study just recently that there are so many people are dying every year from complications from medications, and the side effects are overwhelming. If you've ever listened to TV during, for example, during the Wheel of Fortune hour,
mm-hmm.
you hear these commercials for diabetic medications or all these different medications, and you can just number off up to probably close to 10 on every single medication advertised, what you could have possibly as a terrible side effect. And so because essential oils don't have side effects and they work naturally with your body, that is another reason why I am such a proponent of essential oils and trying to minimize, if we can, whatever, harmful pharmaceutical medications that we ingest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's interesting because we've had kind of generations that have believed you just listen to what the doctor says, and if the doctor says you need medicine, then you take that medicine. And we're starting to get to be where we're a little bit more involved in our own health care, where we're saying, but what about this? Like, if I take this, what will the side effects be? How will it influence me? What will it look like? And I think it's okay for us as consumers and healthcare people out there trying to improve our health to look at what ingredients are in things. That's one of the things I've been really impressed about with the things that I tell my clients about, like essential oils or natural supplements, is what is in them, right? Do they come from, are they sourced from a natural, place, like right from the tree, right from the plant, not putting extra things into them that way. Mm-hmm. So I love, you're sharing your own health story, and maybe we'll put a picture of you up so everyone can see that you practice what you preach, that you're really taking good care of your own health. And we all have different biology, we all have different genetics. I don't think that healthy living will take care of every single possible thing that you could have, but I have seen in all my work that I've done and the clients that I've worked with and in my own life that it sure does a whole lot when you put your lifestyle as the priority and you really are careful about what you put in your body. It makes a huge, huge difference. So I think that's really important for people to recognize, and that you can always try something new at whatever age you are. So thank you for sharing that. We're going to just take a little quick break. But when we get back, I would love for you to talk to us a little bit about people you've worked with essential oils, things you've seen the essential oils to be able to do for them, and maybe a couple of those stories.
Absolutely. Be happy to do that.
Do you feel stressed, overweight, and unhappy? Are you tired of setting goals that you don't accomplish? Do you want more energy, motivation, and focus to create your dreams? Many people struggle to keep up the commitment, motivation, and confidence to be successful, to reach their goals and aspirations. They often let other things get in the way of their personal health and happiness. It doesn't have to be this way. You can change. Join us for a 6-week online health transformation workshop. Learn about the mind-body connection, overcome obstacles to health, create daily health rituals, get support from others like you, and change your life for good. Register now at flourishwellnessconsulting.com under online group workshops. or email Camille at flourishwellnessconsulting.com. Our gift to you as a podcast listener is $50 off the transformation workshop. Use the promo code podcast50 when you register. This year, make peace with your body and like who you are for good.
Welcome back, everybody, to Wellness Wisdom. It's Love Month, so we're really talking today about, you know what, I feel like health and well-being is the way to love ourselves, right? And sometimes a lot of my clients, when I'm doing counseling or coaching with them, really the biggest aha for them is that eating well and exercise and stress resilience isn't about doing it so you fit into a certain size of pants, but it's to do it so you can love yourself, right? And really show yourself that you care about yourself by giving yourself that nurturing, just like we would for our child or our animal or a plant that we love. We would give it food, we would give it sunlight, we would give it water. What are we giving to ourselves to show ourselves we really care about ourselves? And I'm talking to Aida Woodward, who is a wellness advocate for doTerra, and she's talking a bit about her experience with the, essential oils, getting those oils from the earth, and how that has helped people promote their well-being and love themselves. Before the break, Aida, I asked you if you would kind of share with us, I know you have a passion for this because it's helped your own life. What have you seen it do for, your clients or people that you're working with? Do you have any examples of kind of ways that you've seen it help them?
Absolutely. The one that stands out the most to me is a friend of mine that I was not friends with for a while. I didn't know this woman very well at all. We have since, through essential oils, become very good friends. But she is about my age and had the worst case of asthma I have ever been being. She had a lot of problems going out of the house. A lot of times when we had these social events that we would see each other at, and she started having these coughing fits, and she would just it was like almost like an emphysema type cough, but it was horrible. And I felt so bad for her. And at the time I had been doing essential oils for maybe about a year or so. And I casually mentioned to her, maybe we should try some Breathe for you. So Breathe is one of our essential oil blends that we have, and it has peppermint and eucalyptus and a few other oils. So Breathe is one of our proprietary blends with doTerra, and it is great. It's our respiratory oil blend. So what it does is it helps promote clear breathing, and she didn't say much about it at the time that I had mentioned it, but a while later, she was really struggling, and she said one day she just woke up and said, I think I need to try some of that Breathe. So she called me and got a bottle, and the next thing I know, she called me and said, I need 3 more bottles because my husband told me that I can never run out. And she ended up actually coming to a class, which we teach free classes on essential oils and how to use them. And she ended up being one of my best customers. She's on the vitamin supplements. She uses Breathe regularly and several other of the essential oils. But what happened with her is she had been using her nebulizer. And for those of you that are familiar with asthmatics and their really bad asthmatic breakouts, sometimes my daughter that had asthma had to go to the hospital to have these breathing treatments. And it was with a nebulizer, and they put medications in it, and sometimes it has steroids in it. And it basically just helps to open up the lungs. So she would, instead of putting the medicine in her nebulizer, she had her own personal one, she would put Breathe in it. Now, we don't recommend that you put it in there, but it does work for her. So she used that, and it made it so she could breathe so well. Like I said, her husband told her never to run out. And the last few times I've asked her about her asthma, she's basically said that she's gone from using her nebulizer before Breathe many, many times a day to rarely even needing to use the nebulizer. So what that tells me, and I've heard this before from other people, is essential oils know what to do in the body. The reason why is because we are more like a plant. essential oils are oils. So what happens is they work with the cells in our body, because cells have an oily membrane, so they can actually penetrate through, whereas majority of your medications, prescriptions, are water-based. They're not oil-based, so they can't penetrate through that oily cell structure. So they actually work on what we call a cellular level. So that, and now she's doing great with her breathing. I mean, she still has her problems here and there, like it'll probably never go away for her, but she has found such tremendous relief with Breathe.
Well, that's really significant. You know, I think of, I mean, I've grown up with allergies, and, you know, we have asthma in our family as well. And it's something that you kind of live with and you kind of suffer through. But if there's something that can relieve that, which I know I've used Breathe, and I've used other essential oils, and it just opens up that airway, right? And these are natural things from the earth, like eucalyptus and peppermint, that can actually, I mean, if you're out in nature and you smell something like a eucalyptus plant or something, you notice that it kind of opens up that. And I just think I believe in a creator that created things that can help us, you know, that those things are there. And it's just a matter of us knowing what to use for what ailment or what thing we have going on, right? So I love that. That's a powerful story about, you know, just giving your body what it needs. And I believe the body can heal itself if it's given the right environment, you know, for what it needs that way.
And what's interesting about this story, and another story I'd like to share with you too, is that this woman was a nurse. She was in the medical field for many, many years. And I'm excited that people with that background are open to natural solutions and having these powerful results, because she's not the only one. So my sister-in-law, Peggy is her name, she admitted to me, I bought essential oils from you when you first started because I just wanted to support what you were doing. And she was in the field too as well. She's retired. And she found huge results with her allergies, speaking of allergies, through using a combination of lavender, lemon, and peppermint. It's the best combo for allergies. It's like a natural antihistamine. So for years, Peggy was on a medication and that the doctor prescribed, but she could never breathe out of her nostril. She started using this combination of lavender, lemon, and peppermint, and had remarkable results, and now can finally breathe through her nose.
That's huge, isn't it?
Yes, very huge. And she said, I can't believe the difference it has made. It has just been a life changer. And that's what we are doing, is changing lives one drop at a time.
I love that. So I have a question for you. I'm just going to be a little bit of like, I'm just going to be like my client or my listener and say, but you know what? I eat healthy. I eat spinach. I eat vegetables. I eat everything that your body would need. Isn't that enough to take care of my health?
Well, you know, that's a good question. Because of the farming practices that we have right now, a lot of times we're not getting the nutrients that our bodies need. Our land has been so depleted of the nutrients because of overworking the soil. And that kind of brings another topic too, because it's marked organic. When you think you're getting better nutrients, doesn't necessarily guarantee you're getting better nutrients, because they could have used that ground for other non-organic in the past, or perhaps there's like crossover breezes and things that the pesticides from other farming gets into the foods that we are thinking are organic. So, and it could be water issues, it could be ground issues, it could be a lot of different things. So there's a lot of reasons, and some of us just naturally do need additional supplementation. Especially as we age, unfortunately. So we all have different needs too. So we're all individual.
Yeah, and I know earlier in, I think it was November, I had Melissa Lampson, who's a clinical social worker, talk about the soil depletion, because she also was talking about putting things in our body that are natural, right? These supplements that are superfoods that are natural from the earth. So, and I know that that's true, that there's pesticides and different things in our food. You know, we have a lot of processed food. We have a lot of just, it's really hard to know if your body's getting what it needs. And sometimes our body can't absorb what's, you know, going on, what we're eating and that kind of a thing too. And the soil is depleted from the nutrients. So it makes sense that sometimes we might need something in addition to what we're eating. I'm all for eating healthy. I teach my clients to look at protein, healthy carbs, and, you know, making sure they're eating food that's living food. So food from plants is the best for nutrients that way. But, you know, it doesn't hurt to try it. You know, if you're struggling with some allergies or stomach issues, or, you know, something's going on, you know, trying essential oils is a non-risk, right? I mean, there's just, you can just try and see.
Yes, because they are natural and they're very safe and they're effective. When you were talking about we need something else, sometimes we do need enzymes as well and probiotics. And I remember last month you had a gentleman talking about gut health and how important that is. So when our gut is messed up, and we are not absorbing the nutrients, and we may have something called leaky gut, if you may have heard of that before. So basically what's happening is the stuff that's in your food is leaking into your bloodstream and causing a lot of inflammation and other unhealthy conditions. So enzymes, probiotics, excellent, especially if you have any kind of intestinal issues.
Yeah, and I think it's just we need to educate ourselves, right, on what we're putting in our bodies. You know, maybe trying some different things that we have investigated that are safe. And I know that I've learned a little bit about, you know, essential oils and DoTerra specifically, but maybe you can tell us a little bit about how do they harvest the actual, you know, plant, and what does it go through? How do we know that it's natural? Because that natural word is put on everything these days, right? It's fat-free, it's natural, it's organic, whatever, right? So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, what makes doTerra's essential oils unique is what they call their co-impact sourcing. So what they do is they actually go into these areas. Sometimes it's in the United States, sometimes it's in other countries. And they find the product, so the plants or the trees or whatever they're using to harvest the product from to obtain the oils. They go into the areas where their plants naturally grow in their best habitat. So that's the best soil conditions, the best climate, etc. They also work with the local growers to ensure that the land and the products are not over harvested. For example, with our frankincense. The frankincense comes from a tree resin. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It's quite a process that they go through. And they actually have monitors to make sure that the trees are being well taken care of, that they're not being over producing more than they should be to maintain their integrity. And they work so that they get the very best of the resin from the tree. And then same thing with all the other plants. They make sure that they're harvested at their peak time, and they work in the fields. doTerra actually works in the fields with these folks, making sure that the plants are the quality that they do have. They also undergo a stringent testing process where doTerra hires outside sources to test and test again the products to ensure that there are no fillers or additives or any harmful toxic substances. And what I find amazing to me is that if they have a batch of something that does not pass their quality standards, they will discard it. They just won't even sell it. If they have it, for example, they may have a product that, you know, isn't available to harvest. They won't go anywhere else to get it. They just won't sell it. They won't offer that to their customer because they don't want to offer an inferior product, which to me speaks volumes of the ethical part of doTerra. They have what's called certified pure therapeutic grade, which is a standard that they've created to show their customers that they are serious about their quality and the standards. So certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils is what doTERRA is. And I just want to say that we don't become the number one company in essential oils because we have a poor product or poor customer service.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I love about doTERRA too is the customer service, the education, just the overall lifestyle. One of my favorite parts of selling essential oils is actually the education. I love teaching. I love helping people not only with their health, but just in teaching in general. What do I do for this? What do I do for that? So that's my favorite thing.
I love it. So these are all they come from natural occurring sources, right? Mm-hmm. So we're not like getting oranges in Utah because they don't naturally grow here, right? Correct. We're getting it from actually different countries. I know I've heard a little bit about, from different countries, and that there's no additives added. And you can kind of feel that when you try it out. There's like 3 or 4 of that I use quite a bit. I use the On Guard when I think I might be getting a cold, or like the Digestin when my stomach doesn't feel quite right. And mm-hmm. you can kind of tell with that. Is there other things that you want to talk about as far as like helping promote people's health, or what you've seen to help them?
Well, I would love to. So in doTERRA, we are all not only a science company, because we are very much into the science of essential oils, we're also a wellness company. We believe that people should be healthy and be able to live, long into their years in a healthy way. So I like to teach what's called the doTERRA Wellness Lifestyle Pyramid. And as any pyramid, you have a foundation, and usually that's your largest because that's the most important. And it's interesting because we already talked a little bit about eating right. So eating right is the foundation for health, period. And with that, what I like to explain is and I have done this because I was a busy mom raising 3 kids. I worked full time, and we have homework, we have to brush our teeth, we're going to soccer, we're doing this, all these different things that we have to do as moms, laundry, dishes, cooking meals. It's not easy always to have a great, perfect home-cooked meal. So I am the first person to confess, my kids were often eating hot dogs and tater tots and fish sticks. Mm-hmm. Those were the things they wanted. They were the things that they wanted to eat. But I also believe that knowledge is power. So I want to encourage everyone to get your knowledge on when it comes to food. And plants, in my opinion, plant-based diet is really where it's at. We have incorporated a plant-based diet in our home and seen huge improvements just in our health and our energy, skin, sleeping, everything you can imagine. So most people they see anything that is deceptively advertised as food. We have food giants that have us hooked on these chemically engineered products that are portrayed as food. And unfortunately, our body systems aren't made for some of these things, the over-processing, over-salting, over-sugaring, and other things that happen to the foods, unfortunately, are not doing our bodies good. So that's another reason why our supplements are so amazing, because they can help combat the damage that we've done when our diets are not as best as they could be. So that's the foundation of the wellness pyramid. The second layer of the pyramid is exercise. And first of all, you cannot exercise away a bad diet. That is one of my favorite things. Eating healthfully is the number one thing you can do for your health. Even if you can make one small change, maybe cutting your Cokes down to 1 a day instead of 10 a day, whatever. I'm exaggerating here a little bit, but that's just a small example of what I mean. So exercise, sitting is heard as to be the new smoking. Now, I know that smoking is still killing a lot more people than sitting, but both are going to kill you because sitting does not help your body. We were made to move. We were made to move in different ways. Interestingly, I tried out this new yoga studio last night, and one of the things that they were teaching is instead of doing the traditional yoga moves, they have you moving in side to side motions instead of just the up down, vinyasa style. But it was really quite fascinating, amazing. So what happens is as we age, we also lose bone mass and we lose muscle mass, and those are the things that keep us upright. Right? We need a strong bone. We need muscle to keep our bodies upright. So a lot of times we end up having these slouched over older individuals. So it's important to maintain good posture through exercise as well. But I would caution anyone who's interested in starting an exercise program to go slow. Not all exercises are suitable for every person.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain I don't do when it comes to just for example, yoga or anything else. I modify, and especially because I'm an older person, I am not going to do what a 20-year-old does. But I do what I can, and one of the products that we use in our home when we're exercising, my husband goes to the boxing gym a lot. We use Deep Blue. Have you ever used it?
I have, yeah, for muscle aches and that.
Yes, it's amazing stuff. It's the man's rub. It comes in a rub. It also comes in an oil, and it also comes in a roller bottle, if you didn't know that. So it is amazing. My husband had shoulder surgery, and that was before his surgery. The only thing he could get to touch the pain was Deep Blue. And then he would top it off with peppermint, because peppermint oil is known as the pusher oil. So whatever you use topically, it'll like push the other oil in further and help it go deeper into the tissue. So Deep Blue is a combination of wintergreen, peppermint, helichrysum, just to name a few. And it also comes in a supplement as well, and it's considered a natural painkiller, or basically like a Tylenol or Advil.
Mm.
It's natural, and we love it. My husband takes it every day too. So that's the second level. The third level is rest and stress management. And I know you know a lot about stress management because of your meditation. And this is where I fall short. And I wanted to back up a little bit because stress is what got me so sick when I got sick for so long. I had months and months of stress. And I've never handled stress real well. Always been kind of a high energy person. It's always hard for me to kind of slow down. I aspire to be that Zen lady, but yeah.
I think it's a journey for all of us. When you're talking about this wellness triangle, it's a lot of what I actually started with my business is mindful eating, joyful movement, and stress resilience. Those three things. How we feel as far as our stress really impacts how we eat and how we move, right? If we're stressed, sometimes we don't move our bodies as much because we have too much we think to do, right? So, and I want everyone, as you're thinking about this, because it is the new year, to recognize that, there might be one area that's you've got a habit or it's easier for you than another area. And that kind of just shows us that there's something we can do to even improve our health a bit more. And that there's always a possibility of eating more greens or taking more rest time or moving your body in a way that you actually really enjoy. It doesn't have to be going to the gym and hitting the weights, right? It can be something you love, like Tai Chi or yoga or something, swimming, any of those kinds of things. So I love that. I think that's really important for everybody to recognize, is that our wellness is a journey. We're trying different things out. We're, seeing what affects us. And I always think of it with my podcast as I'm teaching people different principles they could try out, and what works for one may not work for another. I love that you're sharing about the oils because they are something that is plant-based, that is actually from the earth. And that's something that is a value for me, is that the earth holds healing for us, So is there anything else that you want to share about that triangle, or anything else that kind of came to your mind?
Yeah, a couple more things on the essential oil aspect for stress management. So essential oils are used aromatically and have an immediate effect on the limbic system. And I'm sure you're familiar with that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's excellent support for reprogramming this stress response on a chemical level. So we have a lot of essential oils. And I use this book called Emotions and Essential Oils. And it's a great reference guide for specific emotional issues. Like, for example, let's look up the essential oil thyme, for example. It's the oil of releasing and forgiving. So much of us have a problem with forgiveness.
Mm.
And it's thyme specifically indicates that it's great for anyone who has problems forgiving or have anger or rage, hate or bitterness, resentment, or any kind of emotional bondage. So this can be inhaled directly from the bottle or used in a diffuser. So that's just one tiny example of one oil that I flipped to a page. And there's oils for every emotion you can imagine. So even generational healing. It's quite fantastic. A couple quick things. Not sure where we are on time. Reducing toxic load is a huge one. We're affected everywhere we go by toxins.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we eat, breathe, all the substances in our air, food, our clothing, furniture, even our beauty and household products. So unfortunately, our bodies don't always eliminate all the toxins, even though some are. Some of them actually lodge within your cells and the soft tissues in your muscles and can also affect your immune system. So if you struggle with fatigue or unexplained weight gain, muscle aches, etc., it could be something in your environment that's affecting you. We have some amazing toxic, all our products obviously are toxin free. And we do have a detoxification blend that I love. And whenever I start thinking I'm getting sick, I'll start using that detoxification blend, which, by the way, some of our essential oils can be taken internally. Not all essential oil companies say you can use their oils internally. Some, if ours say on the bottle you can use it internally, then you can. And one way to know with doTerra is by the label. If it has a little section called supplemental facts, which looks just like a nutrition label. If you're familiar with that, you should be. If not, call me. I'll teach. But if it has that, then you know it's safe to take internally. If it's not safe, it will tell you on the bottle as well. So 2 more quick things. We talked about informed self-care and also about proactive medical care. We need to become our own health investigators. There's no quick fix. There's no magic pill. There's no overnight solution to becoming a healthy person. And we all fall short sometimes. Even I do. No one is perfect. No one on this earth is perfect, right? So we need to take it one step at a time. And when it comes to our medical care, it is important to find out from your doctor, well, what is this prescription going to do for me? What are the possible side effects? What should I expect from the treatment program that you are giving me right now? But just remember, your body's a science experiment and none of us are the same. We have something called biodiversity, so everyone is different. You may need to try a few things. And if you're going to use essential oils, not every oil works the same on every single person. Some people have tremendous success with one particular oil, and it may have an opposite effect with another. What I do is I allow people before they even buy from me to sample for free. So I make sure before they buy that this is what's going to work for them. But as far as the proactive medical care, backing up just a tiny bit, there are a recent study that I just heard about that about a third of people who go for second opinions end up with a different diagnosis. These are serious medical conditions. Just the other day, I was with a group of women, and 2 women in the group talked about breast cancer and going to a second opinion. And they still had breast cancer, but they came up with a completely better plan because they didn't want to do everything the first doctor told them, but they were able to recover in a more natural approach from what they got from their second opinion. So always, always, always get a second opinion. Do not accept a diagnosis. I had a gal that I met. She was really into health and wellness, about my age. She said, don't ever, ever just lay down and let your illness take you. You need to do whatever you can to fight it. There's so many options out there for natural. I mean, doctors, I love doctors. Yes, they have a purpose. They're great when you have a broken bone. Of course, if you've got a terrible, debilitating illness, definitely go to the doctor. But get a second opinion if you can. One of the things that you mentioned up front is some of us have genetic predispositions. I come from a huge, long line of diabetics, type 2. So my dad was a diabetic. His mom was a diabetic, type 2, very overweight. And out of the 9 children in the family, my dad told me that all but one had type 2 diabetes, ended up getting it. And I found out before my dad passed away that his grandmother, his mom's mom, also had it. So the chances of me getting it are good if I don't keep my weight off. For one thing, I also had gestational diabetes with my last pregnancy, which is a risk factor. So the risk factors for type 2 are family history, over 40, overweight, gestational diabetes, which is a diabetes that you have while you're pregnant. Have you ever heard of it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the only thing I could do was lose the weight. The history I couldn't change. So it's important to do what you can for your body with the products that you have. And I love working with people. So I hope some of your listeners would be interested in learning a little bit more about oils.
I love it that you kind of talked about how the oils can help with physical, mental, emotional challenges. I know I have another friend who's been on this podcast who also does essential oils. And we were talking about how the fastest way for something to get into your brain is through your olfactory, right? So breathing it in. I never realized how significant that was till I had a teenage girl I was working with who's 15, and I did counseling and everything with her. She was having she was suicidal at the time, but she was in my office. And when you're in that state, like you said, the limbic brain, that fight or flight brain, there's not a whole lot of talk therapy that's going to work for that. At least not in this situation, it didn't, right? I wasn't able to help her see things differently. Even when I tried the meditation or breathing, that didn't help. But I got out my lavender out of my purse and I had her smell it. And for her, it was a fast way to bring herself out of that anxiety and that fight or flight that was telling her life's not worth it and these horrible things about herself, right? So I think it's really amazing to realize that this is physical, emotional. There's so much that you can do to benefit yourself just by trying some different things out. Maybe you have your oils diffusing in your room that help you feel more calm. That's something that I definitely do as I meditate. I have my oils. And just really being your own, like you say, being proactive in your medical care. I thank you so much for sharing all this. We're going to take another quick break. And I know you've kind of already shared a few tips with us, but if you have, I call it the words of wisdom. If you have a couple of things that people can just take home with them to try out today to kind of maybe start exploring something that they can try to improve their well-being.
Mindful health to help you flourish. What if in just 90 days you could completely change your life? If you could start losing the weight that's been weighing you down, get better sleep, eat better, have more energy, and have a healthy lifestyle for good. Have you ever wondered why changing your health is so hard? Do you want to believe it is possible? What you mentally focus on grows. This program is set up to help you grow a garden of health. In just 90 days, you can learn the habits of health. This is not a diet or a short-term health challenge, but a healthy lifestyle change for the long term. Health starts in your mind. Through this workbook and audios, you'll be guided and empowered with the confidence to see results and change your life. 30 days to plant the seeds of beliefs and mindset. 30 days to nourish the seeds through daily health habits. And 30 days to grow and thrive by gaining confidence and energy when you see the results of improved mood, weight release, and finding enjoyment in moving your body. Buy this program and watch yourself flourish. What you focus on grows. Let's grow a healthy body and mind. Reserve this program today by contacting Camille at flourishwellnessconsulting.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Wellness Wisdom. We're talking about loving ourselves and taking really good care of ourselves. And I'm talking to Aida Woodward, who is a wellness advocate, and she's talking about how essential oils can help us physically, mentally, emotionally, improve our health, plus, our immunity, detoxification. There's just so many ways that it can help us. And Aida, I would love for you to share with us just a couple of words of wisdom, a couple things that people can take home with them, either a way of thinking or something to try that can improve their well-being today, like starting today.
Okay. Well, I think it all starts with taking the first step. You need to decide what you want out of life, what your why is. Why do you want to be healthy? What is in it for you? Are you looking to just feel better in general? Are you struggling getting out of bed in the mornings because you feel like, maybe your life isn't worth living, or whatever your issues are? You need to take one step at a time. First, decide your why. Okay. And then maybe start thinking about what you can do to start eating right. Maybe some small step in the right direction, perhaps drinking more water. Our bodies are made up of a lot of water. We really need it to sustain life. And Diet Coke doesn't cut it.
Mm.
I love my Diet Pepsi, but try not to drink it.
Again, it's a natural thing that we have, right?
Right. It's an addiction of sorts. Yeah. So eating right, drinking water, make one small step for yourself. Exercise, getting started is the hardest part. You get halfway through a workout and you're like, yeah, this isn't so bad. I could probably make it another 5 minutes. Maybe just going for a quick walk around the block might be what you need. A lot of times that'll also just kind of pull you out of the funk. One of my best tips that I would give my girlfriend, if she would, call crying, I want you to go to the bathroom. I want you to wash your face, brush your hair, pull it back in a ponytail, go for a walk right now. Peppermint oil really invigorate you and get you going as well. If you have a bottle of peppermint from DoTerra, of course, just put some on the back of your neck and just breathe some in. It's an excellent motivator to get going. It just kind of awakens you. It's great for that. And then also stress and stress management. Manage your stress and get plenty of sleep. We didn't even talk about sleep and the importance of sleep. It's huge. If you are not getting at least 7 hours of good quality sleep, your body is going to start having problems. There's so many studies out there on sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You end up with having problems with brain fog, just energy levels, poor skin, etc. I mean, everything you could think of. Your body requires it. We're made to sleep and rest. So 3 things. Eat the proper foods, get the proper exercise or movement, and get proper rest. Those would be my 3 top tips.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us your wisdom, your passion for what you're doing. I know it's very obvious that this is something that has blessed your life and helped a lot of people. If people want to connect with you or know more about the essential oils, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Okay, probably through email. I respond really well to email, and that way I can just see, what your needs are best that way. It's my full name, which is Aida Woodward, and it's spelled AIDA, Woodward, WOODWARD, 0209 @gmail.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being with us today. And everybody, in February, I hope you can just try one new thing to love yourself, whether that's drinking water, figuring out why you want to be healthy. Is it so you can age well, be with your grandkids more, so that you can feel better in your clothes? What is it that's going to motivate you? And then to just try something new. Maybe it's an essential oil. Maybe it's trying something new for exercise that you think might be fun. Just looking at it as a fun opportunity to care for yourself and love yourself like you would for someone that you really care about. So everybody have a great week. And as you listen to this, I hope you can continue to make peace with your body and like who you are. Take care, everybody.